Hi friends, this is Linda from Linda Loves Creating and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my 2023 planner lineup. I'm using the Hemlock Oak 2023 Daily Planner. I am using a Hobonichi Cousin. I am using a Hobonichi Weeks, and I am using a Golden Coil planner. I have a different purpose for each of these planners, and I am going to show you a flip through and kind of give you an idea of how I'm going to be using each of these planners along with my setup in this video. If you missed my 2022 lineup, I do have that video on my channel and I will link it up at the eye. I was using almost entirely different planners last year. I did not have any of these ones. I did have Golden Coil and I am continuing Golden Coil, but I had two last year and this year I'm only going with one. So let's start with the Hobonichi Weeks, just because this is my work planner. And so I can't really show you anything in it, but basically what I plan to do is put on this side my appointments, track my work hours, because the way that my job works is I just have to meet a certain number of hours in a 2-week period. And they're very flexible beyond that. So I track my hours and then I supervise 3 people. So in this little section, I'm going to track their hours. So I'm going to put the lines on here with my ruler. And then on this side, I'm going to use that as a to-do list. Last year, I did a bullet journal for work. And while it worked really well, it seemed I ended up putting too many tasks on a page, then I could continue, and I was carrying things over and over. So I decided to do the weeks because 1, it's very small. 2, I like that it has the set days to have my schedule also with my to-do list. And 3rd, I like that this space is smaller because once it's full, I'm just gonna leave it and anything else is gonna be pushed to the next week, which is more manageable. There's also all of these blank pages in the back for notes. So I figure I might use these for breaking down larger projects that I have to work on during the year. Second, I'm going to share with you my Golden Coil planner. This one is the most similar to what I've used last year for my project planning, and I'm going to use this again for project planning. I did switch it up a little bit. I got these year at a glance in the beginning to put kind of an overview of projects so I can kind of see what's coming. I'm still doing the monthlies where I'm going to share, kind of put in here what my statistics were, like what I posted where and how it did, my monthly project planning, my finances for my craft channel and all of my projects. This is just for extra notes. And then on this page, I do track certain products that I purchase just to make sure I'm not buying too much, and extra notes. Those are all the same as last year. What I changed a little bit was this one. I had used a spread last year that looked like this. And what I had the to-do list, I tracked habits, and then I had on here like what was coming up next week, my commitments and my stories. I do want to track my stories, but I don't like this is like not enough space. The to-do list I found I didn't actually use it very often. And the habit tracker isn't really that relevant. And then on this side, I was putting what I posted on Instagram and what I posted on YouTube, and they were kind of getting mixed up. So I was using just this one for YouTube. So what I got instead was this layout where I'm going to do Instagram across the top. I'm going to do Instagram stories in the middle. And then I'm going to do on the bottom my YouTube channel. Okay, so there's still the to-do list here. Like I said, I don't really use the to-do list a ton on this in my last year's planner, but I plan to use it maybe for the like what's coming soon or my commitment section. But beyond that, I'm really focused on these sections here. I will share more about, project planning and stuff as the year progresses, but most of that, I'm going to share a lot of that content. I have an upcoming class entirely focused on project planning and craft organization and inspiration, using inspiration. It's called Plan, Prep, and Play. and it's available over at allieedwards.com, and it is $30 for 4 weeks worth of content. Every week there's going to be 3 lessons that include multiple videos from me, including process videos, tips and instructions on how to set your goals, from annual down to smaller breakdown of projects, organization, everything, the type of stuff that you see on my YouTube channel, but more in depth, more organized, a lot of printable downloads, worksheets. There's going to be a ton of content in there. So I really hope to see you over in that classroom. And I will link the details for that class down below. I also would really appreciate you supporting me by signing up for that classroom. Okay, so now on to my main planners for the year. My main planner is going to be the Hobonichi Cousin. I am brand new to Hobonichi products this year. I kind of I've seen them around and I never really felt inspired by it. I found, the colors a little off-putting. I found the Tomoe River paper a little intimidating. But then a few months ago, I got super obsessed and went down a rabbit hole online of Hobonichi Cousins layouts, and I just decided, I fell in love with this planner. I decided I needed it. So I'm going to kind of take you through how I have it set up so far and explain the pros and cons. So the very first thing is this year at a glance. I'm not going to do anything with this. I rarely use these spreads, but it just takes up 1 page. It's not a big deal. Next is these, it's like an index, I think, that you could use as. I'm going to use these as trackers. So I put up here my trackers that I want to do, and I wrote everything daily for the first, the things that I want to track daily for the first 6 months. I haven't written in for the last 6 months yet. I figure it'll be the same, but if something changes, I will, this gives me flexibility to update that later. I also have down here monthly cleaning. These are tasks that I only do once or twice a year, and I put them in the months that I need to do them with little bullet points to check them off. So the bullet points here, I used my Clean Color Dot Zig marker. I use these a lot this year in my planning. I don't love how it looks on the Tomoe River paper, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to use that in this planner. I also struggled to find a pen that works in here. Right now, my favorite is the Muji pen, and I will link all of these down below. Some of these spreads were written using older pens as I was testing out pens and trying to learn the paper, and a lot of things smear, and it's kind of hard to work with this paper, but the benefit is that you get so many pages in one planner. So then I go into my monthlies. This is kind of my basic idea right now, is to use the monthlies to put all of my appointments and stuff ahead of time, so I can kind of have a month at a glance. I don't intend to literally go back and fill this in with any memory planning or anything like that. I have used a couple of colors for each month, and I do have some things are smearing and stuff as I was learning pens. Hopefully as the year goes on, I will get a little bit better about using these papers and have my handwriting and stuff actually look nice. I do plan to use this over here for my tasks. I have my monthly tasks, which come from this list up here, just so that I can check them off as I go. I will also check them off here, but this kind of gives me an overview of everything I need to accomplish around the house during that month. This is my monthly cleaning, so this is everything I do every single month, and so I will write that on every single month as I set up the new month and check them off as I go. You can see here I started drawing little check boxes rather than the dots because I don't like how the zig dot looks on here. So this is going to be where I put a to-do list of specific tasks that come up that I need to accomplish during that month or want to accomplish during that month. And my plan is to have all of this stuff on my monthly, and then I will move it on to my weeklies and dailies as needed. I am someone who does monthly, weekly, and daily planning, and so having this planner all in one is a huge plus for me. So then let's flip through all of the monthlies. It goes all the way through March 2024. and then gets into the first week. So this is how I set up the first week, just kind of what I'm thinking so far. I'm going to put across the top here. I feel like I'm going to do like a color scheme for each week, but I'm really going to use mostly pen. So across the top here, I put my work schedule. So whether I have no work, whether I have a day off, whether I'm in the office, some days I telecommute, don't have any scheduled for this week. And then for a past day, that's just part of how my schedule works. So a day off is like I'm charging like vacation time. A past day, I just am not supposed to go to work. And then no work is like, I'm not supposed to go to work because it's like a holiday. And then I have my daughter's schedule here where I have no school because she has no school this week. I think if she has a regular schedule, I probably won't put her schedule, but we'll still see. I might put on here like when she's at like her dad's house. But I don't know for sure yet, so I'm gonna wait till closer to that. Even though we do have a set schedule, we mix it up a lot, so I'm gonna wait till closer to do that. Then I'm putting this right here I'm gonna use the time sections for actual time. I have it from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. and I feel like everything I have scheduled tends to fit within those time frames. After 8, I'm really getting ready for bed, and I don't need the hourly. Before 7, although I am up, it's just getting ready in the morning, and I don't ever really do anything besides, I start work at 7, and I don't really do anything besides get ready and commute in the morning, so I don't need to put that on my planner. I highlighted the time bar here for when I am working. I do work flexible hours, so I put on here that I am working 7 to 4, which is my best guess of when I will work. I might end up working longer or shorter, and I won't work shorter, but I might work longer, so I will probably mark that closer to if I plan to work longer or if I do end up working longer, just so I have that glance on here. I also am going to track my hours in my work planner, and I will have it in both places, but this one stays at home, and this one goes back and forth to the office, so it's good for me to have it in both places. Right here is going to be my to-do list. This is where I'm going to pull my tasks from here on my monthly and put them in on here, things that I want to accomplish during this week. These are not day specific tasks because it's really something I can do any day, but I will check them off as I go. Then I have down here daily cleaning. I have specific things that I plan to do every day for cleaning. I do that now, and I tend to, so I will actually show you this in the very back here, and it's kind of messy because it was the very first page I did in here. But they have this timetable thing here. And these are my weekly and monthly cleaning schedules. So I have weekly, on Monday, these are the things I do. Tuesday, this is what I do. Wednesday, Thursday, and so on. So this is like the cleaning tasks that I always do that day. Sometimes it's flexible just because if my schedule changes or, you know, for some reason I need to do something sooner. But generally, this is what I do. So when I'm setting up my weeklies and dailies, I flip back to this page and I will use that to figure out what to put here on each day. And I may make some tweaks that are specific to that week. The monthly section, these are the monthly tasks that I only need to do once per month. So if you go back to my monthly here, these are my monthly tasks I only do once per month. So here's where I slotted in where I'm going to work on them. And I also have slotted in time to work on these tasks that are just deemed monthly tasks. And this is just a loose, like, what I intend to do or hope to do on a regular week that has nothing else going on. It's very rare that you have a regular week that has nothing else going on, but this is kind of my starting place. And then in the weeklies, I will adjust as needed. For this bottom section here, I'm going to write in my dinners. I do my meal planning in my planner now, so this will give me that opportunity to write in my meals. And I don't plan breakfast or lunch because breakfast, I'm just do something quick on my own. It's really just coffee or something small. And then lunch, I'm usually on my own and it's, kind of last minute. Sometimes I will plan ahead for like work lunches, but I don't need to use my planner for that. Dinner is really the one where I'm like cooking and I have to plan ahead for groceries. When I don't have like work, so what I plan to do is like write meetings in here or other appointments, and I will write them in like the time slots And I might write in some other tasks that need to happen in those specific days that don't have times. I'm not entirely sure yet. But like here, I wrote in the holiday, New Year's Day. So now moving past the weeklies, you come to this page. And I love that they have this blank page here because this is going to be where I set my goals for the year ahead. I haven't done that yet. I'm not sure if I will share a video here, but I will definitely share that on YouTube. On Instagram. So check over there if you want to see my goals. And I will lay out all of my goals for the year. These are my personal goals, not my craft goals, because those will go into my craft planner. Then moving into the month of January, every month starts with a blank page here, and that's where I'm going to put my goals for the specific month. And then moving into the dailies. So this is what I'm really loving about this planner, and what really drew me to this planner was that it has the monthly, weekly, and daily all in one. Last year, I used a golden coil planner, but that only has the monthly and the weekly. You can get a daily version, but they don't have the weekly then. What I was doing this past year for my daily was a bullet journal here in this Archer and Olive notebook. And what was good about this was sometimes I would skip days if, I was busy and didn't need a daily, but I like that it's all contained in one. I like that there's the daily prompt to do it because I do want to do it every day. I tend to feel off when I don't get to it every day. So this is going to be really good for me. And if worst case, there's a blank page, that's fine. I do plan to use the hourly section here as a schedule, use this for my to-do list, put my daily tasks here that I do every day. I will probably decorate like the day of the week up here. I'm sure I will adjust as time goes on, but I really like the layout of these. I'm not thrilled with the colors, but beyond that, I'm really excited about it. The Tomo River paper, like I said, is the one thing that I'm really having a hard time with. I don't use fountain pens. So to me, it doesn't have that benefit, but, and I can't stamp in here, and it's so thin, like stickers and stuff, I feel like you can feel them through it. But I do have this, so you can put this behind your page to write on so that it doesn't like indent the next page, which is nice. But I'm still learning how to use this paper, and hopefully throughout the year, I will either come to love it or hate it. We'll see. But still, my plan is to stick with this for the year. So now flipping through all of the daily pages, we're almost coming to the end here. Then you have some extra pages. So here I have my important tasks. So these are things that I want to do every so often. They're not things that happen all the time. Like cleaning out the microwave or deep cleaning the kitchen cabinets. These are kind of things I do once a year or maybe more often, but not on a regular basis, but I do want to track them. So I have the months up here labeled by color. And then during that month, I will, like if I do, say I change the air conditioning filter on January 5th, I will write a 5 in this box. If I don't write anything, that means I didn't do it that month. And I've used a similar system to this in the past, and it works really well for me. This is my bill tracker. So here I have all of the bills I need to pay. And then when a bill is due, I will write the date, and then I will color it in when it's paid with the color of that month. This one was paid in December, so that's why it's colored in from December's color. And then down here, I will color in my paydays. This is just another tracker I have. And then here, I'm gonna track my assets. So my starting cash, my income for the month, my expenses for the month, and my ending cash. And then I just have a few other like notes here. Here's my cleaning and tasks. So these are things that I do multiple times per month. So there's 5 boxes per month, which gives me kind of about once per week, because some months we'll have 5 weeks. And I can write in, so I'm going to do a very similar to what I did here, but it's a smaller, it's just the 1 box. So when I do laundry on January 1st, I will write in a 1. When I do it on the 7th, I'll write in a 7, and just kind of track it that way. Then this page and the next page I haven't filled in yet because I'm not going to share that online, obviously, but that's going to be like my passwords and account information. And then these are just some important notes like doctors, offices, and that kind of thing. So then I already showed you my timetable. This is just kind of my test page to test out pens. And then there's some other pages in here, like my favorites. I don't really have a ton of plans for these. I originally was trying to think of ways to kind of use them as like memory planning, but I don't really care to do that in here. And I will explain why in a little bit. This one, I might do like 100 things that I accomplish or something like that. I'm not sure. Most of these I don't intend to use. I do actually like, they have this tracker one, which I might do tracking like Pilates or something like that, because I do want to try to do Pilates more regularly, but it is also on my trackers way up here. So I do have Pilates/yoga tracked here. So I'm not sure if I really need to track it twice. I also maybe will do like a craft related one on here, but I don't know, because this isn't my craft planner. So just something to keep in mind as I go forward and try to plan out or use my planner. So that is the end of this one. Next is the Hemlock Oak 2023 Daily. So when I was considering what planner to get, I was looking around for all the different planners for 2023. I was wanting something different, and Hemlock Oak was one of the ones that I had considered. Then I absolutely fell in love with the Hobonichi Cousin, and I knew I had to get that one. Then I kept seeing the Hemlock Oak pop up. It looks so pretty. The daily pages on here look very similar to the daily pages in here, but they don't have the coloring, which is very nice. They do have this extra box right here, which is very nice. They have the hourly goes longer, but if you don't want to use it, of course, you can add stuff here. And this is like a nice thick paper that you can stamp on. You can do stickers, you can use highlighters, and it's not going to smear the way that this paper does. So I absolutely love it. Plus it's way brighter white. You can see the two papers side by side. Like the color is just nicer on this one. But the problem with this planner, first of all, look at the size of this thing. This is a gorgeous planner, but this is a thick, hardbound book. This is heavy. This is not something that you want to be carrying around. Also, you flip in here, we've got our year at a glance. We've got a monthly overview, which is kind of like the trackers in the beginning here. I mean, it's horizontal and you don't really have as much space. You don't have like enough. There might be enough for each day. I don't know. I didn't count it, but I don't really have a plan for this page. But there is that. And then there's the holidays. It goes into this, which I'll talk about in a minute. And then you have your monthly spread and you go straight into your dailies. And that's it. At the very end of the book, you get to the very last daily. And then there's just a quote and that's it. There is nothing else in here. And that's just because this is like thicker, nice paper. It just takes up so much space. That is the magic of the Tomoe River paper. That's the trade-off for having this really thin paper, is that it fits into this smaller book and you can fit so much more into it. So this is just not functional for me as a daily planner, because I would need a second planner for the weeklies and the monthlies and the trackers and all of that type of stuff. And it's just so thick and big, but I had to have it. And so this is what I plan to use this for. I'm not using this as a planner. I'm going to use this as a journal. I know it's designed as a planner, but in the past, for the past 5 to 6 years, I have used the Day One app to track my kind of what I did every day, because I use that information when scrapbooking. And I also use the Dailyo app to track my moods. And I want to move away from technology. I know most people want to move towards technology, but I don't like it. I don't like spending so much time on my phone. I don't like having all these different apps to check and fill in every day. So I'm going to stop both of those apps in 2023, and I'm going to keep a paper diary instead, or journal. What I'm going to do, I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with the monthlies, but I'm basically going to do every day. I plan to just journal in here what happened that day. I might make it decorative some days. I might include some stamping. Other days, it might just be writing. I'm not entirely sure. Like, I don't really have a set plan, except that I'm going to do it every day. This part right here, though, I am going to track my moods. And so what I did was up here, I made a key and I stamped on here. And this was my first time using this paper, so I'm like, was still figuring it out. So I feel like my handwriting will get better once I'm used to the planner. But I have these like little faces and colors, and my plan is that I will put the little faces and colors in here to document my mood for the day. And then my journaling will kind of reflect why or whatever else is going on. I've been so excited to start keeping a journal. This is something I've wanted to do my entire life and I've never stuck with. And then I realized the day one app, I have consistently added to it every single day since the beginning of 2015. If I can type up what I'm doing every day in an app, I can definitely handwrite it in a journal. And then I can have this journal with all of these stories in one place. And I will use this the same as I used day one to look back on to know what to include like in my project life or as a reference, but it's just going to be in physical form. It's going to give me an opportunity to play with stamps and text, practice my handwriting, and it's just gonna be hopefully something that I love. I will definitely share another video here checking in on this. I might share, end of the month flip throughs. Let me know what it is you'd like to see about this. But I'm very, very excited to use this as a journal. I know Hemlock and Oak does sell like blank bullet journals, but I really love the idea of using a daily planner as a journal because it already has the date set up on there. And I'm just super inspired and excited by this. So let me know in the comments down below what planners you're using in 2023. And if you have had any experience with the ones that I'm using, what your thoughts are and some things that maybe I didn't consider in this video. See you in the next one.